Well, in case you've seen everything, here's something else. What I've got is a tube test extender plugged into the tube socket in there. It's got little pins on it so you can measure all the voltages. So I've got the wires figured here so that I can measure the grid voltage, suppressor, plate, the screen, and the cathode at a couple of meters set up here. I cannot get a squawk out of this oscillator. I cannot get it to oscillate on 40 meters or 160 or 80. It just will not oscillate. So it's just no negative grid voltage there where there should be, and then be the sign of oscillation. Everything else is okay. So what I'm going to do now is flip this chassis up on its end and disconnect. See, here's a schematic. Disconnect this coupling cap right here, which feeds the RF from the wrong one, C22, feeds the RF from the VFO to the grid of the buffer. So I'm just going to lift that in case the buffer or switch or something in between is loading this oscillator down. And if that won't make it oscillate, I'm just going to quit on this thing and use it with crystals, because I'm put a lot of time into this. I'm not getting anywhere. Okay, there's C22, the blocking capacitor on the plate, the output of the VFO, and there's the yellow wire that goes up to the switch and then over to the grid of the buffer. So I lifted that wire, and I'm still not getting a peep out of that oscillator. It's just not oscillating. So I got one last RF choke to check, and then if that isn't it, the VFO just has to come out and be worked on the bench. There's a band switch in there. It's impossible to check, and a couple of little mica caps you can't get to. So I think I'm just going to use this thing without the VFO for the foreseeable future and move on to bigger and better things. I got a lot of other radios to work on. Well, there it is.